Hey, this is Meleika of Evanston Live TV, the voice of the people. I brought you part one, the story of the amazing woman, Lesley Williams, regarding the Evanston Public Library. Now I'm bringing you part two of that story with Pastor Michael Nabors. We're going to be discussing racism. There was a time when racism would just be blatant in your face. You just knew it when you saw it. And now it can be hidden under a smile, having a cup of coffee, laughter. You just never know. So check out this episode.
Playback. Music hitting your heart, cause I know you got a soul. Hey, listen if you're missing, y'all. Swinging while I'm singing. Giving what you're getting.
Hi, Meleika. I'm happy to see you and to talk with you today. That's right. Well, you know, it seems to me that getting to Lesley, she has been a force and an advocate in the community during the time that I've been here. And I've only been here just a little over 2 years. But she's one of the first persons that came to meet me. She introduced herself. She availed herself as a resource for me in terms of learning about the community and finding ways where Second Baptists and African Americans in general might be beneficiaries of the resources that are available. And so to that end, while she seems like a member of Second Baptist, she's not. She visits here very often, but I believe that she's Jewish. But she does visit here frequently, and when she does, she's always talking about the services that are available. We started a men's book club, a reading club, shortly after I arrived, and we have read now maybe 15 or 20 books over the last 2 years, and all of them have been made available through the library because of Lesley's participation. She's just a wonderful person. So last week when I found out that there was some disciplinary measure that was being meted out against Lesley, all of it of course is confidential, I was very, very concerned. And when I did find out, I became a part of a consortium of organizations and people that met at the Civic Center so that we could share our support of Lesley. So just before the disciplinary action meeting took place, we gathered together in the hallway. There were about 100 of us, and I was privileged to be able to lead that rally in support of Lesley, who I mention is like a family. She's like a member of our family, but she's like a member of the Evanston family. So if somebody's going to discipline a member of your family, then I think that family has every right to try to find out what's going on, why is it happening, and particularly to a woman who has been an advocate for the marginalized, for African Americans, for the LGBTQ community, for our Arab and Muslim brothers and sisters. She has sought to find ways to bring diverse people together. And that's the best of Evanston. That's not the worst of Evanston. That is really what we're supposed to be about. It's what I strive for in terms of my continued belief in our having a beloved community. It doesn't just happen by, osmosis or blinking the eye or whatever. You got to work towards it. And when you have somebody that also believes in that, you want them to be on your team, or you want to be on their team, however it looks. We're on the same team together.
What is your advice to people who are experiencing racism but they can't prove it because it's hidden behind a smile and let's have coffee and yes, I support you, and then you're getting stabbed in the back, and you can't prove, like, how do we deal with that? How do we cope with that?
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great question, and let me answer by saying the word that I often use is pernicious. There's a pernicious presence of racism that permeates our nation right now. At the highest offices, and of course it trickles down everywhere into the local community, as well. And so to me, I'm going to put on my NAACP hat as the new president of this civil rights organization that's been around since 1909. I believe that we are reinventing ourselves and we're reinventing ourselves because of the way racism has changed over the years. We haven't just disappeared. Civil rights and human rights are just as important as they always were. But I think now in 2017, as African Americans, we need to work on banding together with other groups that are marginalized, other groups that are suffering similar kinds of discrimination. Maybe not because of the color of their skin, but because of their choice, because of their religion, because of their culture, because they wear a certain hijab on their head. It's all discrimination. And if we can gather together and say we're not going to have that, there are two things that have to happen. One, in order to maintain your sanity, you have to be able to talk about it. You have to be able to express it to the people that you love and share. You can't just keep it internalized, or it's just going to fester and grow. And then number two, you have to find organizations like the NAACP who will listen to what your concern is. We have an intake process for registering complaints. You fill out a form, and if we believe or have confidence that we can approach that complaint in a way that will merit some kind of positive result or yield something that's going to be favorable for the person that's being discriminated against, we're going to go all the way. You know, that's what we've done with Lesley. She didn't register a complaint, but we just heard about what we feel is an injustice, and we went to her aid. So always remember, you know, for everybody or anybody that's listening, no matter how the challenges may be set against you, there's always greater power that you have in numbers, even though people may not be able to see it. So I'm bold enough to be able to stand and go anywhere because I always know that I'm not alone.
Yes. Thank you so much, Pastor Nabors.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Meleika.